Hey guys, it's Pope and welcome back to my channel. Let's start this video with a big what the f in regards to everything that has changed in the world since the last time I made a vlog. Everything is totally different now because of this virus that has affected literally everyone. I am heading into my 8th month of pregnancy and now in the middle of a global pandemic, which is not at all how I expected this to be going, but yeah. 31 weeks, about to turn over to that 32-week mark when this gets posted, and just chugging along, trying to make the best of the situation at hand. It's been a wild ride the last few weeks. That's why I haven't been vlogging, because I've been just kind of like processing things and just kind of keeping to myself a little bit. Oh, and I will apologize. I am on my ball, so if I start bouncing, I am not doing it on purpose. All in all, in spite of everything, I'm still doing really good with the pregnancy. Baby is super healthy, and that is the most important thing really that I have to worry about. Everything else is just kind of noise to me right now. I'm just focused on keeping myself healthy and keeping my baby safe. I have been in total isolation since the beginning of March, which we're going on about 6 weeks of that now, which has just been really weird. I live in Georgia. We have been on stay-at-home orders for only about 2 weeks now, but because I'm pregnant, I'm in like a higher risk category, so I self-isolated pretty quickly as soon as this started going around. So I have not had any other contact with like anyone outside of my house in a really long time, which is wild. It affects you a lot more than you would think that it does. The new coronavirus, COVID-19, they don't know a whole lot about how it affects pregnancy still. The information from the CDC on every topic basically still says, we don't know. So I've taken extreme precautions, and like I said, I've been self-isolating, so there's no risk of me having the virus at all, and I'm just doing everything I can to keep my pregnancy safe and keep my baby safe. I do not want this virus. Even if it is okay for pregnancy, it's still a very big sickness people are getting, and pregnant women are immunocompromised, so their immune system is down. When I look at my labs on my blood work, my hemoglobin is borderline low as it is, even for a pregnant person, so I know my immune system would have a really hard time fighting something like this off. So for me, it's really important to make sure that I don't get this. Some studies out of China have shown that the women that got it there did have some complications, ending up with preterm labor, and we don't want that. I want a fully grown baby. There have been some problems with infants getting it. They still don't know if it can pass from mom to baby in the womb. They're like still trying to figure it all out. So it's a scary, scary time for pregnant women right now when you don't have clear-cut answers. Even at my very first appointment, they were like really stressing how important it was to make sure I don't get the flu, because the flu has been deadly for pregnant women. So if the flu has killed pregnant women from the high fever and put them in the hospital, I can't imagine how horrible of an experience it would be to get this COVID-19 while you're carrying a baby. It would just be really, really tough. Not to mention, things just like coughing are super hard on a pregnant body. Our pelvic floor is already strained a whole lot by carrying this weight all day long, and adding on coughing, like, it's just not a pleasant experience. On top of the actual dangers to a pregnant woman or to a newborn, the hospitals around the country, and in Georgia specifically, have put a lot of restrictions on births, and that was kind of the scariest part because the rules are changing daily. In some places where there are hotspots, the rules are changing hourly, and every hospital is kind of having their own policies. And the biggest change so far has been to the support people that you were allowed to have. In some situations, they're cutting it down to no one. Like, there was some hospitals in New York, and I think it got reversed, where the father could not be at the birth. And basically everywhere in the country you can only have the father there, if that. So a lot of women that were counting on having their own mothers at the birth to help them as a support person, or a doula, which is a person that you hire to assist you with your birth and help you like with comfort measures, they're not allowed to be there either. So it's really adding a lot of stress to pregnancy because everybody is having to change their game plan. And because we're still not quite at the peak yet, the fathers are like, we'll see if they get to be there or not. That is such a crazy thing. Like, it's mind-blowing that it's come to that. I totally understand that it's for everyone's safety, but at the same time, it's just like unbelievable that that is the situation that's going on right now. Like, dads out there, can you imagine not being there for the birth of your child? Like, wow. All that being said, I've weighed the pros and cons and really sat down with my husband and just like with my own thoughts and decided I'm going to switch to a home birth. And I announced that on Instagram a couple weeks ago. As soon as I like made the decision, like this is what I'm definitely gonna do, I instantly felt all of the anxiety like lifted off of my back. It's the best feeling when you are having trouble making a decision and then you finally decide and then you're like, oh, what a relief. Then you know you made the right decision. That's kind of how it's always been for me, at least. So I will be having this baby girl at my house, which is also crazy because it's not anything that I ever dreamed of doing or thought that I would be doing. There's a lot of people out there that have been waiting for a long time to have a home birth. A lot of people have had all their children at home. I just always envisioned having my baby in the hospital like the more traditional way. But with the situation out there right now and all of the dangers, I am going to feel a lot better doing this at home. Part of my decision-making process came from the classes that I took for birth. I was planning for a natural childbirth. My goal was to have an unmedicated birth because after doing a lot of research, I believe in the like natural process, like keeping things as primitive as possible for the birth. In my birth classes, the information, a lot of it was geared towards home birth. So I was learning a lot of things about home births where I previously was uneducated about and maybe a little bit like naive about, because when you think of home birth, you think of like, oh, that's super dangerous, but it's not, especially when you do it with a midwife. And so I feel very prepared from those classes that I took. My instructor was really good and I feel confident that I can do this. I live only 15 minutes away from the hospital, so I'm a really good candidate for a home birth. So I'm very low risk. I don't have high blood pressure. I've had no problems in the pregnancy, and I live very close to the hospital, so getting transferred is still an option if something were to go wrong. I found a private midwife that is going to be there for me every step of the way. And so now I have switched all of my appointments to going to her, and it's at her house. So there's very limited interaction with other people, very low risk of me getting the virus. Because that was the other thing. The dads are not allowed to go to the office visits now either. So these pregnant women are going to their ultrasounds by themselves. Like Camille, I was talking with the other day, like she had to go to her first ultrasound and hear her baby's heartbeat for the first time without her husband. Like that is tough. So these are like really hard times right now for pregnancy. So now my baby daddy gets to go with me to the midwife. So that makes me happy too, because I need that support, especially while things are scary. It's like you need your support person now more than ever. All in all, very excited about the home birth now. Now that my like entire path has shifted, I'm just like able to prepare for the birth again. And everything I'm doing is setting myself up for like this new route, this new path. And it is exciting. I'm really looking forward to having such an intimate experience for the birth of my first child. I think it's gonna be amazing, and fingers crossed everything goes to plan. My life in general has not changed that much due to the isolation. I work from home with my nutrition coaching and weightlifting coaching as it is, and I have my home gym, so I continue working out here at home. The main thing that has changed is like I can't see my family, which is really weird, and can't see any of my friends. I had to cancel our baby moon trip, which I was really looking forward to. We were going to Miami, so that was a bummer. It was supposed to be like our last trip without a baby, but oh well. And I had to cancel my baby shower, which I was very upset about for a few days. I know, big picture, these are not big deals. Like, people are dying. I understand that these are small things, but this is how it was affecting me. Canceling my baby shower was a very sad day. But we shifted it to like a Facebook group, and my friends and family have been supportive in the Facebook group and sending me some stuff off the registry that way. So I'm just like getting stuff mailed to my house and opening it with videos or pictures to share with my friends and family. So it actually has worked out good because I feel I'm still being able to connect with them. That was what I was like upset about, was not getting to like celebrate the pregnancy with my people. And so we're finding a way to still do that kind of virtually. I can't like run errands. I can't see my massage lady, which was really helping me with like keeping my pelvis loose. And there's just like day-to-day things I was taking for granted, I guess, really, that I do, because I feel like I stay at my house so much, but apparently I leave the house a lot and just didn't really like, it didn't really register before. Obviously not getting my hair done. Luckily I have blonde hair. It's just obviously a lot darker than the highlights that I get, so it's growing out some roots, but it could look worse. And no nails. I usually have gel polish. So yeah, us girls in general are feeling the struggle a little bit with no beauty routines. A bit of an update on my pregnancy in general though. At my last appointment with the midwife, my blood pressure was really low. It's always low. So no danger of preterm labor, nothing showing signs for that, no swelling in my hands or feet. The baby is growing well. I'm measuring a few centimeters ahead. The baby is head down. She's in a perfect position, which is great news. Don't have a breech baby as of right now. The kind of unpleasant things I'm dealing with now is like heartburn is starting to creep up. My feet hurt pretty bad at the end of the day, and I'm just feeling like big and heavy. I'm feeling very stretched at night, but all in all, I still feel kind of like myself everywhere in my body except for like my torso. I feel it pulling even on my back. Like, I can tell I'm like getting wide. She's really pushing my limits at this point, but I'm still working out, but drastically reducing things now. I was able to do full squats through week 30, which was big in my mind that I made it that far. But then like my pelvic floor muscles were starting to feel strained, like borderline injured after I got done squatting one day, but like not quite. Like if I had done one more set, I might have injured myself kind of feeling. So I decided to stop doing any more full squatting and have switched to doing box squats, which is a great alternative to keep doing the movement and try to keep my legs strong. Tons of bodybuilding. I am playing around with some sumo deadlifts right now, which is fun. I also can only handle like 4 days a week now, and the volume in general is just toned down, but I've stayed in shape pretty well. I'm proud of myself for like the figure I've maintained during this, and just doing the best that I can with my diet and staying on top of my workouts. I'm trying to keep as active as possible because it will help the delivery. It will help me come back too. Right now, my biggest fears are probably that I end up needing to go have birth in the hospital early, and the situation with the NICU is even more dismal. NICU babies are not allowed to have visitors, so that means they are being separated from their moms at birth. So right now involves like a pep talk every day, like, baby, you will stay in the womb until it is your time. We're not going early. That's probably my biggest fear. Also fearful that I end up needing to be transferred to the hospital, but it's out of my hands. I'm just doing whatever I can to have a healthy pregnancy and keep my mind healthy too. I'm not really that fearful anymore now that I have a new game plan, but I'm very excited, and I'm back to like celebrating my baby and getting the nursery ready and just trying to be as positive as possible. Doing a lot of stretching, doing a lot of journaling. I've kept up with a journal every week throughout the pregnancy, which is gonna be really cool, I think, to look back on in a few years. And I'm really getting the itch to start weightlifting again, which is awesome. I am looking forward to building my body back up and getting back to snatch and clean and jerk, and hopefully competing at the National/AO that's now in December together. So yeah, got a lot to look forward to. Hopefully you guys are handling the isolation and pandemic as best as possible. I have a lot of friends that are nurses and that are on the front lines of this, and if any of you guys out there are working on the front lines right now, just know that you're appreciated. Hopefully everyone is doing their part to stay at home to slow the spread of this and keep as many people as safe as possible. Thank you guys for watching. Please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel, and I will see you guys in the next vlog. Bye!